So Loop Hero is a new game that's quite tricky to fit into one genre. It's got elements of roguelike, deck building, RPG and also auto battling. It comes together in a very, very satisfying way. On first inspection it may not look like much, but this indie game from 4 Quarters and Devolver Digital does a great job of getting its hooks into you. Loop Hero does what it says on the tin. You are a hero who travels in a constant loop, battling and building up your stats as you go. Rather than the traditional method of controlling the hero in the game, you look down on the loop from above and place tiles and select weapons and items for the hero, which helps generate materials and other benefits. There's a couple of modes to the gameplay. There's a pause state or planning mode, then there's the play state or adventure mode. So in the planning mode, the whole screen is paused. You can take your time to place tiles on the board and manage your hero's inventory, preparing for the battle. In adventure mode, the hero automatically walks around the loop continuously until you either fight a boss or die. So when you first start out, the loop and the board is very simple. As you battle enemies early in the game, they drop tiles and inventory items, which you can use to build up your board. And tiles are a wide variety of things like rock, mountains, vampire houses, meadows and villages. And tiles each have different effects on the board, from restorative powers or dishing out more enemies and also levelling up your stats. There's also bonuses if you put certain tiles next to one another. For example, if you create a grid of 9 rocks and mountains, you'll create a peak that gives you a really big health boost. One of the issues with this though is there's no real instruction or sense to it. You just have to try out different combinations and see what works. And while this promotes discovery and testing, it's not really obvious or prompted to in a tutorial. So Loop Hero has elements of other genres, and one of those is an idle game. So our hero continues to walk around the map and battle unaided, and we're merely observers in the gameplay. The player does get to manage the loadout of the hero, making sure they're ready for the action. So you've got blood-sucking vampires, goblins, blobs of goo, they're all in your way trying to kill you. So it's definitely a different type of game for sure. Much like an old school RPG from the 80s or the 90s, this one is very much a sit back and relax kind of game with a few modern twists. Now, it's definitely going to scratch that strategy itch for sure, and it will most likely take a few loops before the game starts to click. There's an element of test and see what happens due to the lack of explanation from the tiles, although I'd say the hook crept up on me, but once I got through my first few games, Loop Hero really had me thinking about it, even when I wasn't playing, which I know is always a good sign about a game. There's different classes in the game too. There's the standard warrior, who you start the game with, and you have to unlock more as you progress. So the rogue has a nice dual wielding ability. There's also a necromancer too. So it's definitely one of the more relaxing roguelikes out there. Something like Dead Cells, Hades or the umpteen other roguelikes can be tough, and the permadeath feature keeps you on your toes throughout a run. Loop Hero though is slightly different in that the tension ramps up much slower. I recommended the game to a few friends and they were baffled by the lack of action in the game, so it's something to be aware of. Terrain creating and deck building are the main features, and the main action you observe rather than actually taking part. Loop Hero is a pick and mix of game genres all mixed together to create a very simple but effective package that's going to hook your attention and squeeze it with its goblin-like grip. It also had a very successful start with 500,000 copies sold so far, plus grabbing the attention of some big names in the video games press. The developer, 4 Quarters, have responded to the popularity by saying, "Thank you all for your support and the excitement for Loop Hero from all of us at 4 Quarters. Right now, we're working on patches with quality of life updates you all asked for, including a system for saving during expeditions, new speed settings, and a deck of straights gained from bosses. After that, you can expect to see lots more content added to the game, such as new cards, classes, and transformations. And we can't wait to share more updates with you all soon." So we've already had a breakout indie hit this year with Valheim, and it looks like Loop Hero could be on its way to being another. It's a very different proposition to Valheim, however it's great to see indies getting the spotlight and continuing the momentum from 2020, which saw massive indie games like Fall Guys and Among Us do really well. So Loop Hero is going to make you wonder where the time has gone, and even though your hero is trudging around the loop over and over, there's something about this game that's both satisfying and quite addicting. You can check it out on PC now. Well, the game is developed by 4 Quarters, and it's published by Devolver Digital. It's available on PC via Steam, Epic Games, GOG and also Humble Bundle. It was originally released on the 4th of March 2021. Well, that is it for my review of Loop Hero, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again, see you soon.